Mr. Axolotl. Hello, hello. All right. See if we can get this all set up. Ooh, Dr. Box. Box is great. Where is the thing? I finally watched the D&D movie last night. Pretty good.
That's good.
Pretty happy with it, yeah.
Have you played any Baldur's Gate yet?
I have not played any Baldur's Gate yet. Probably do that tonight after the stream. I was trying to get the video done, and I got a good chunk of it almost done, so I might have it out this weekend, but
Nice.
I got distracted by other things. That's just how life goes. Welcome back, everybody. Corvus, welcome in. Druid, welcome in.
Hey.
Alex, hello, hello. It's Friday. We gotta get to getting. There's a new Paizo book out, which I'm excited for. Wayne Reynolds got his Kickstarter done. I don't know when, but I pre-ordered the book this morning, so that's gonna be awesome. Lots of good stuff this week. Baldur's Gate is out.
That the RPG Saints book?
It is, yeah. I'm excited. It looks really cool. We are doing the viewer suggestions, so if you have not suggested anything this week, you are welcome to suggest it in the chat. And yeah, the Kineticist one is the new Pathfinder book, which is super exciting. We'll see how that goes. Which means I need to update my Foundry server again. Which is fine.
Do it after the stream.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm assuming I haven't checked yet. I'll need you to swap it over to our game so I can prepare for our game tomorrow anyway.
That's fine. Have you guys seen the new Noble Knight game ads? Pretty funny.
No.
They're making a game. It's pretty awesome.
What's Noble Knight?
Noble Knight is the Merlin Knight shorts guy that I send you all the time.
Oh, okay.
Merlin going after his bewilders. Which I could not tell you what that acronym stands for, but I just feel like it's funny. I think the first two words are big woman.
Yep. He's basically playing a Master Roshi style Merlin.
Yeah.
Ugh.
No, it's really funny. It's really funny. Go, my noble knight. It's just funny seeing a guy dressed up like Merlin doing all the weird TikTok dances. For some reason, I appreciate that. That is the kind of YouTube content that I'm glad still exists. I feel like kind of faded to obscurity for a while. No shade to Joel Haver. Haver? It's Joel Haver. But some of the stuff is funny, but it's less my style of humor. Still funny though. It does exist. It does exist out there. Like the serialized characters doing dumb shit.
Na rugby.
Pat Steve, hello. I drew some pretty good rugbies for the new video. Pretty happy with them.
This one is super squart.
Yeah.
More head than anything.
Goblins are mostly head.
Yeah, and rugby's always been a Muppet, so it's appropriate.
Hope everybody's week's going okay. Probably gonna get a call from the body shop. Well, not the body shop, whatever the fuck it is. People
Mechanic?
fixing my car, yeah. Decided to take it to the dealership because it was supposed to be cheaper than the other place that I wanted to take it. And I got there and they're like, yeah, no, it's going to cost this much money. I'm like, you sons of bitches. It's the exact same amount as the other guy.
That is not what you told me on the
Not
phone.
what you told me on the phone.
You rapscallion.
Pretty sure they're going to tell me my car's broken, then I'm just going to go pick it up. You done an axolotl character yet? I have, actually. I've done... did a commission for one of our normal viewers. It's somewhere. It's somewhere. It should be on the Patreon page. Or in the Discord. What we did axolotl sorcerer, I believe. I never made stickers out of that guy. I probably should. You're drawn today, Druid. More plant boys.
More vine monster. With venom proportions.
Nice.
No neck, shoulders twice as big as the head, etc.
Does nothing but like upper body workouts all his life.
Have you seen the anatomy of venom sketches that people do? Like, where... Because, like, it's not like a suit, right? Like, Venom look like this. Hold on a second. I can do this. There we go. Venom got a huge body like this. But, like, there's a dude in there. So, like, where is he?
I think Venom is sort of like a mech.
Yeah.
But Venom moves in places where Eddie Brock should be solid.
Yeah. I know in the movie, like the head was like where the head was. Like it was Eddie's head wasn't like in his chest or anything.
Yeah, like they've drawn a lot of stuff where like it either is just like split because that's makes sense visually, but then when you actually look at like the proportions of like where the arms are and the legs are, it's like Eddie's head would be in like the middle of the chest.
Yeah.
And then Venom's head is just kind of its own thing.
Yeah.
Which is really fun. I like that. I like those kind of drawings people do. Because I always struggle with how to proportion Venom. Millen, hello, welcome in.
I think part of the point of Venom is that he's so freaky that he doesn't really have consistent proportions.
Yeah. Jordan,
It's
yeah,
probably
the Scarecrow is
yeah.
there.
Probably makes Venom more fun to draw, to be like, you know what, it doesn't matter, just make him like huge, bulky, scary, and weird. Right? Like, because he's a villain character originally.
Mm-hmm.
And there's nothing wrong with monsterifying him.
I think in one of the iterations with Agent Venom, I think it's Agent Venom.
Mm-hmm.
It's Jameson is the one inside of it.
Not J. Jonah, but his,
No, his son.
kid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and like
I was like,
whose name I always forget.
yeah, and he's missing his legs, and so it makes a lot of sense that Venom basically like gives him his legs back. That's part of the deal they have. Is that he can always use Venom legs. Symbiotes.
Yeah. Doesn't Agent Venom also like, as part of that deal, he doesn't look like Venom? The suit like looks more like a suit,
I think so. Yeah, I'm not sure.
like a tactical suit.
How are you shading like that? I assume you're talking to Druid.
A big soft brush.
Also, are you using black or are you using gray?
I'm using a dark gray green. It is 1F231D, if the hex code matters.
You intend to create a zombie-type creature that takes inspiration from Venom. Interesting. What part of Venom do you see as being zombie?
Does Venom appear in the Marvel Undead verse?
I don't know.
I've never
Look it up.
seriously looked at any of that.
Marvel Zombies, Venom. Venom, Marvel Zombies. Content is marked as mature. He goes by the name Evil Doer, and yeah, it's Eddie Brock. It's Eddie Brock as Venom again.
evil doer.
Oh, Eddie, you were never the sharpest tool in the shed.
Crimes: genocide, mass murder, cannibalism, destruction.
Mm.
Kind of,
All part and parcel for Venom.
Yeah, apparently. Occupation: supervillain, hobby, trying to kill Spider-Man. What comic book characters are anti-villains? Good guys do villainous things?
That sentence made no
Anti-villains.
sense to me. Not quite a rhino beetle thing. It's a
An
plant
anti-villain
monster.
is a villain whose goals or ends are generally benevolent, but their means of getting there are evil. I.e. Magneto, Thanos.
Deadpool.
Deadpool's... I don't know, yeah, maybe.
Complicated.
Yeah, complicated.
I
At
suppose
a minimum.
Deadpool doesn't really try to do anything good.
Yeah, Deadpool is more of a, what's the term? Anti-hero? He does heroic things without really wanting to do so.
Yeah.
I'm just here for the money. Oops, I saved the planet. Dang it.
Yeah, Melon U, I'm like, it's looking kind of rhino beetle-esque, but it's supposed to be a plant creature, so that's a branch sticking out of his face.
Zombie Venom is Carnage. Carnage is I haven't seen the new Venom movie. I need to see that. But yeah, I dig the first one was actually not that great. They did some weird stuff.
Doesn't surprise me. Venom lore is kind of fucked.
A little bit.
Been rewritten I don't know how many times. Is Venom still canonically the King in Black?
No. Well, ugh.
Maybe.
for the movies, no. Apparently, yes. Apparently, that the King of Black series is still going, but I don't know.
Interesting.
Yep, still Venom. You're good.
Draw Obama. No fan art.
Yeah, sorry, Battlefront boy. The rules are listed in the Discord, in the comments below. I'm going to finish up this rugby, and then I'm going to roll the dice for the first character we draw. For those of you just jumping in, the way this works is you can suggest your RPG character, OC, whatever D&D tabletop RPG related thing. Following the rules in the comments, put it on the list, and then we roll dice, and the list tells us what to draw. Those aren't perfect circle eyes, and they're pretty bad. I'd like to see a comic character based on Shaka Zulu. I mean, there has to be a Marvel or DC character that did that.
Yeah.
Would not be surprised.
I would be surprised if there wasn't one.
That's what I'm saying, you know. Draw Obama as a rogue. That's closer, but still, still not quite the right. Intent.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have, I think, 28 suggestions today. Roll it. 10. And a D20, and we'll go from there. Nine plus 3 is 12. So the first one we have is a Bone, Warforged, Spore Druid, Astral Self Monk, Swarmkeeper, Ranger. That is a lot of stuff.
Is that even possible?
3 levels and 3, 9, 12, I guess. You have to be level 12. Bone is accent. Thousands of year accent. What does that mean? Oh, Bone is ancient. Wow. All right. That's my fault. Thousands of years ancient. He's lived for a long time. He's forgotten his own name. Fungus and moss grow on his weathered but hardy skeletal. Okay. So, Bone... Basically, we're drawing a Bone Golem.
Bone Golem with moss.
Yeah.
Bone Golem Chia Pet.
Except that it has... I don't know what the Spore Druid functionality would get you out of that.
Mushrooms as well.
Spores, Swarmkeeper, Astral Self. So we have like a psychic bug swarm robot.
Well, Astral Self just gives you extra arms. Not exactly psychic arms.
They're kind of psychic arms. But yeah, that's fair.
I mean, all arms you have with your mind, so all arms are kind of psychic.
That's true. Lights in video games are powered by electricity. You're not wrong. All right. Someone mentioned sorcerers earlier. How do you personally like flourishing a sorcerer's magic or aesthetics in your drawing, depending on their bloodline and origin? Usually we do runes for sorcerers, or like interesting tattoos.
Yeah,
flowy
I do
robes.
I do a lot of real big jewelry sometimes.
What do you think of slime zombies? Dead bodies that can morph into slithering puddles. Is that a thing? Are slime zombies a thing?
I mean, it's kind of like, what's the one
Spore clouds.
undead thing that is just a bag of skin
Oh,
that grabs things?
yeah. What is that?
I can never remember its name.
It's like animated flesh or something, or
Yeah,
Gross.
I mean, it's basically that.
okay, we're gonna do that. All right, bone. Bone War Forged. Here we go. Isn't that just Sandman but with extra steps? That's a good way to look at it.
Kind of.
It'd be like a plasmoid zombie. Yeah, my problem with the plasmoid zombie thing is like those are two different things. Like that's really the big problem. Do that, Obama. Yeah, Battlefront boy, you're missing the wrong part. The Obama part makes it fan art. I'm horribly at thinking of outfits, to be honest. When I'm getting stuck on the character is in the possession of being a land druid, and I have no clue what to put on her outfit. That is tough. That is tough. I would go with loose clothes, so like maybe not a robe, but just not form-fitting, and then belts. Lots of belts, lots of wraps, tying things to the body, because they don't want to spend the time to actually make cloth. That's probably Sorcerer magic always sticks out to me as someone is casting it empty-handed, like they're just grabbing and weaving the shapes. I like that too. Yeah, we do that a lot.
Yeah.
Neko Arc, but as a warlock? What is Neko Arc? I feel like I should know these things.
Neko, isn't that Japanese for cat?
Yeah.
Is it a cat boy arc? Or cat girl arc? I don't know. I don't play enough Final Fantasy.
Wait, so like an arcanist? I don't know what arc means either.
I thought it was referring to story arc. I'm too old for this.
Yeah, that's what I said. I don't get it.
Write out your thing in full sentences. Full ideas, please. I'm too stupid for this.
That would also be considered fan art because it's an already existing character.
Yeah.
Sorry. Original characters here.
And not like Sonic OCs, like actual OCs.
Yeah.
Tabletop RPG characters. Isn't that one of the weird cat things from Fate? It's a cat person. Okay.
Yeah.
What
Type Moon.
It's just chat. Is there a form for the arts mission? Yeah, no, Axel. So essentially, you just one sentence suggestion for your D&D character, which can be like also Pathfinder, Cyberpunk, whatever. But draw Obama, please. Yeah, no, sorry now and then. That's not how it works. The rest of Obama yelling will be ignored.
Yep.
You suggest one sentence. That's usually the race and class of your character, and then try to keep it in under a sentence. No mimics, no fan art. Put it in the chat. I'll put it on the list for you. We also submit. We have a community post that we put up on Mondays that people can add to, and I've already taken all of those from that list. So it would be better just to put it in the chat here, and we'll do that. Could the Sandman be a revenant that can be turned into a sandstorm? See, so that's the problem that I'm looking at. With like oozes being undead, is the problem is if you're just slapping a template on something like that, having it be both an ooze and undead makes it very powerful. So if you want an ooze that has like human form, that's fine. You just use the ooze template and you flavor it to look like a person. Nothing wrong with that. You can definitely make it look like a zombie. Easy. But if you want it to have the undead traits, then it gets into the weird stuff of like what part of the ooze do you need it to be able to do. So like it needs to be a skeleton that can shift through cracks at like 1 inch intervals. That's only one ability that an ooze would have. Sure, like that's not going to break the character too much, but giving it the ooze traits and the undead traits can be really dangerous. So it's just something to keep your eyes open for.
If you want like some sort of sand undead, just go with mummy.
Yeah, mummy would work. I noticed Rook's art is like front-facing or side-facing. That was a statement that turned into a question. But yes, I'm drawing this from the side because robots look real cool from the side. From the front, they just look like smooth-faced people, and that's weird. I'm gonna try to make this look like a real jawbone. Supposed to be ancient bones though, so maybe if I just make them a little drier, a little more fossilized. I still don't know what I'm going to do to make this look like a... I guess as the Spore Druid, we can just add some Swarm Floof. And then everything else we can just kind of play around with. My character, she's half deer, shifter, land druid, forest, and raised by fairies. Nice. Is that? Do you want to put that on the... Is that just an explanation, or do you want to put that on the list?
Yeah, that sounds like fun to draw.
Mm-hmm. My character is the 44th President of the United States of America. I mean, if you want, I'll put that on the list, but I get to decide what that looks like. And I can tell you right now, it's not going to look like Obama.
It's not going to look like Trump either.
That looks okay. I will put that on the list. I did not get a race or a class. That is just a character description. E-Hound one, I will put that on the list. I like that. A fairy half-deer shifter. Swarm could be tiny creatures. Yeah, I'm probably gonna just cover him with like little bugs. If a gem will feature like hair and eye color in the matter or not, let me know. Yeah, no, we only do the sketches anyways, so if you have visual, if Druid gets it, Druids might ask. Yeah, that's fine. I only do the sketching.
Differences in style, that's all.
Eldrin Fairy with a swarm of sprites. That would be pretty fun. This is a Warforged, so I don't want it to just be bones. I do want to get some weird sinewy bits in here. Why not? Male Genasi Gravekeeper using a shovel as a weapon. I like that. That's a good one.
Yeah, you love using a shovel as a weapon.
Shovels are great. Forensic science, my friend. Technically the first weapon used for a legitimate murder.
If you're going by the Bible, sure.
First recorded. Not first thing used to murder, but first thing.
First recorded homicide.
Yeah. There is a precedent for it being a weapon.
Fair.
Categorically. Give it extra limbs like Iron Spider. Could do that. Welcome to the Discord. I want to see a changeling who gets occult magic from a from a hag bloodline. That could be cool. Is that your suggestion for the week? Instead of answering the call, they decided to changing abilities would make them really successful clother. Interesting. I guess, can changelings... Is there clothes? Not clothes? I guess not, is it?
I think it depends. If you want to go a full Mystique build, then probably not. But there's nothing that says you can't wear clothes, just that you probably wouldn't be able to change them with your ability.
I vaguely remember that for the shape-changing ability is if your armor like isn't magic, it won't like conform to you when you shift.
Ah.
So
Okay.
presumably you need like other sets of clothing to like accommodate your change in shape.
I thought it was just her skin, but yes, this is my suggestion. Okay. Put it on the list. Does make sense if you envision a gothic angel, but biblical angels are Lovecraftian nightmares. Yeah, exactly. One of the funniest things I've ever done for one shot was to play a character with a hexblood template, which meant they wouldn't shape change anymore since they replaced the racial trait. Oh, that's interesting. So they're just like trapped as the one thing. Kind of like that. Is that a male dryad? Essentially, I think is what Druid is drawing.
Kind of, yeah.
Just like living as a failed wizard.
You know what? It might work better as a treant than a male dryad. Because I think the male equivalent of a dryad is... I mean, if we're going on actual Greek lore, it's a satyr, but if we're going D&D lore, the opposite, or the male equivalent of a hamadryad is an Earl King. Think.
I
Follow
thought
you,
the Earl
Drew,
King
on
was
this
a
one.
specific dude. Are the dryads supposed to be specific? Like, do they have names? Things like the Furies?
I don't think so. Unlike folklore, Earl King is a creature class, not a at least in first edition Pathfinder where they actually have an Earl King. I think there's a third party one for 5e, and there isn't any for second edition Pathfinder yet.
I guess they do the same thing with like the Doulahan, right? Like, I think the Doulahan is...
It's, in lore it is one specific creature.
Yeah.
But they turned it into a class of creature. Yeah. It is like that. So in first edition Pathfinder, an Earl King is like it's a protector of the forest.
Gotcha.
And it is and a hamadryad is a like the leveled up super ancient version of a normal dryad, like the mother of a forest. And so the Earl King is the male equivalent of a hamadryad.
Third had male dryads, but they did make it into effect. Got it. Creeping Willows, the church calls him. Tombstone graves, dirt, dust, etc.
I know in second edition there's the green men who are like evolved leshies.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So yeah, this could be a green man as well.
But you've already drawn leshies.
Yeah, but look, I spend a lot of time doing myconids. I've done some leshies. I've done
5e also has blight. Is it there's three different versions of the blight creatures, like blight twigs, blight needles, and
oh yeah,
those are essentially.
I forget about those.
What's that?
Blight jacks or something like that?
You might have to look it up.
They're from a vampiric tree.
Yeah. Spoilers for my party members.
Sorry?
If you
Not
guys want
us.
to fight the blights, I'll send them at you. I like the idea that, like, for the Warforged, you could just take a person and reanimate it, but, like, not with the correct soul, and then it goes from being a revenant to just being like, oh no, I'm not a ghoul. Like, what? Like, yeah, no, this is not necromancy. I just use somebody's body as my base components. It's like, okay.
Just download my soul to this
Yeah.
body.
They weren't using it, so I'm
See now that
not
that
technically
right
necromancy.
there tells me that that animating any object should actually technically be necromancy. What school of magic is it actually?
What, Warforged?
Yeah, or to create a warforged or to animate an object or awaken or give something.
I think
Probably transmutation.
I think it's transmutation, but like construction is what it would be. That's kind of its own thing, but I think it is under transmutation. I think Corvus is right. Because yeah, like if you here's the weird thing about what we're talking about. Technically, when somebody dies in D&D, their body becomes an object. That is mechanically what happens. Therefore, you could animate the object. The question is if you're using enchantment magic, whatever the hell it's called, abjuration. I don't remember what animated magic is.
Transmutation.
Transmutation. It might be transmutation for animate object.
I'll Google.
It's different stats if you're doing that or if you're using necromancy. Like it's two different stats because it's either animate dead, which is a very specific thing that gives you a lot of control over the body and like using whatever they had, versus animate object, which is essentially just flopping around a person puppet, which is weird. So you can do it both ways. It's just different. It's different. Those two spells cannot be intermixed. Like animating an object does not give you a skeleton. Or I should say, animating object does not a skeleton make. Blighted dryads are scary. Yeah, I'm throwing a bunch of those blighted tree things at my players, and I'm gonna have to fight a hag, which is gonna be awesome. Blighted hag.
Love
You
it.
draw my OC. I sent you a drawing of it. Where did you put that? Nope. That breaks the rules. Shout out to Dance Macabre? Most fun necromancy spell. Oh yeah, making like I don't remember what it does, but I think I've had a player use that before.
It's really safe necromancy because they're not permanent undead.
It's just like you're
They're
summoning wisps of them, right? Or like spiritual skeletons.
Well, no. So there's that, but then there's like Dance Macabre, where you like reanimate corpses, but they only last for like a minute
Interesting.
for combat,
I was thinking
and
it
they
was
just
something
flop
like
back down.
I was thinking it was something like the cleric ancestral guardian spell thing.
There is that. It's called summon undead.
That's just summon undead.
Or conjure undead.
Okay. Oh, that would make sense. Yeah, because you're conjuring them. Okay.
Yeah.
Instead of like summoning a skeleton, you're just willing them into existence. It's a good character concept. Read Sidar Iqbal al-Shah's book. I hope I said that right. Black and White Magic. Its theory and practice. He discusses a lot of real-life magical lore. That's awesome. I would love to get a copy of that. Into that stuff. That would be fun. was talking yesterday to someone about like wands, like magical wands, and how like it's a huge market. I mean, it's not a huge market, but like it's a market where there are multiple companies that make wands. And we were looking at them and we're like, this is crazy that Harry Potter made this so popular. But then like a lot of the shops we were looking at were around long before Harry Potter, and it's just like, oh shit, these are real wand shops. Oh no, what have I done? So that's super cool. For extra drama, the ghost is a bard. It's just he's constantly playing music, and the only character can hear it. And only the character can hear it. Interesting. Geese is pretty strong too. Yeah. Geese is one of those super powerful spells that I think we've decided was evil, which most necromancy is, so who cares?
Yeah.
You mean
Is
enchantment?
Geas necromancy?
No, it's enchantment.
No, it's an enchantment.
Yep.
But I mean, I was relating it to the fact we were talking about necromancy, so it's like, hold on, you
Fair.
want to summon skeletons, but Geese is the the stopping point. It's like, nah.
Enchantment is in my mind the most evil branch of magic because it's all about basically enslaving somebody else, dominating their will with your own.
Let's be fair, most magic is.
Yes, but there's a
it's like it's levels of evil, right? Like,
yeah.
what's the use case for a fireball that's not just murder? So, we don't have to have a moral moral argument.
And we should not.
There's no need for that.
Let's have a chill Friday, please.
I would like a chill
not
Friday.
fall into politics or relative moral philosophy.
I need to change some of that up. Okay. Enchantment magic is awesome, plus nobody dies. Win-win. Hopefully nobody dies. Okay.
Cast calm emotions.
Yeah. I've spent way too long on this, but chat has been unceremoniously active today. So I don't mind that so much, which I appreciate. I'm glad everybody's having a good chatty time, but I've been distracted, so I need to focus on this art for a little bit.
We have a few new people today,
Yeah, welcome in everybody.
which is very cool.
The enchantment school made me sad. I was so excited. Oh, cool! I can enchant weapons and stuff. Nope, none of the school intended as meaning. This school instead it's messing with people, but after the spell is over, probably a minute they know. Back to back. Yeah, Hydra Poseidon. Hello. Yeah. I think
It's
5e really kind of chickened out. Oops, hold on a second.
also say enchantment school has always been mental magics. It's
Yeah.
like based on like not old, but like early 1900s pulp fiction of like evil enchantresses who bewitch people's
Oh, that would make more
minds,
sense. Yeah. Versus like. Yeah,
enchanting a spell into an item.
right. Because you still need the fire magic to do like a fire spell on a sword, so it's technically still evocation. I can see that.
Hence why like that type of magic is referred to as artifice.
Hey, running a bit like how are we all doing today? Doing pretty good, Elvin here. How are you? Yeah, so 5e got a little wishy-washy on enchantment magic, like enchanting things, just in general. So
Yeah, on crafting items and objects in general.
I kind of like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I do as well.
Hello, chat. What's up, newcomers? There we go. I was trying to read that weird. Creepy Willow, welcome in. Fantastic author from Afghanistan. He wrote a lot of books on history, theology, philosophy, and magic. Yeah, that'd be really cool. If you could find a link to that on like Amazon or something, or let me know. Had to run and pay rent today. Adulting sucks. Yeah. I'm glad I don't have to go physically pay my landlord anymore. I hated that. Used to have to drive 5 miles out of town to go pay my rent.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah, it was a pain in the butt. College towns suck.
Yes, they do.
That was one of the reasons I'm a stickler for if you have a bill to pay it like a week in advance at a minimum. Because those guys would if you show up, they'd close up 20 minutes early, and so then all of a sudden, I put it in the mailbox. They're like, well, we don't know that you didn't put that in there on Saturday. It's like, well, if you didn't check it on Saturday, then you don't fucking know anyways. So get out of here. I did the thing I was supposed to do. It's not my fault you didn't. So
Scumlords.
Yeah,
that's what they are.
It is frightening how many predatory business practices there are that exploit college kids, the youngest and most vulnerable people for cash. It's very terrifying.
Well, yeah, we don't need to talk about this.
Yeah, sorry.
You're correct. I don't want to make it sound like you are absolutely correct. There are way too many people that are exploiting college students. I think a big part of it is that college students have money through their student loans and through just being able to get stuff. So it's a whole bunch of young people who have money that don't understand how or what they're supposed to do with it, and that's why they're so preyed upon. And I think that could be fixed just by having a better system of teaching people how to prepare for life instead of worrying about geography. Not geography. Geometry. Yeah. I like that math exists in schools, but we need more general adulting courses. Here's how you do your taxes.
It's called life skills, people.
Yeah, life skills. Take them. Adulting does suck. I'm annoyed I want to try the melee classes, but they don't grab my attention like casters do, probably because I'm a wizard main. That's fair. I hate playing wizards, so I think there is a little bit of the something's got to tickle your fancy before you really get interested in it.
Yeah.
Yep.
I really do think that the 5e Battle Master fighter is it's something really fun and interesting and tactical for melee fighting for people who prefer to play casters, because I'm the same way. I prefer to play casters, but I love me a Battle Master. And it's a fun thing to tack on to other things. I guess I only took 3 levels in Warlock, but I had a Battle Master fighter lock that was really fun to play. I think that pairing Battle Master fighter with Barbarian can be crazy go nuts fun.
That can be a lot of fun. My big issue with casters is I feel like you're a lot more locked in. It's I know explosion, but if explosion is not the right answer, it's well, I'm useless then. It's
yep,
cool, thanks for coming along with us on this party. It's oh no, my sword doesn't work. I will try literally anything else because I have the functionality to do so. And I've run into too many situations where the inopportune use of magic makes a player just shut down. It's I need you to use your skills. I don't have any skills. I only have magic. It's okay, cool. Cool.
I think
cool, cool.
that's one reason why I also like the rogue, is because the rogue also gives you tons of
options,
tons of versatility, tons of skills, tons of other things that you can try when everything else fails.
Yeah, I agree. Which is honestly one of the reasons that rogues are kind of annoying as a DM. Because like, aha, I'm gonna make you think about that. Nah, my kit just fixes that. It's like, oh, all right. I automatically roll a 10. It's like, well, okay. I brought this upon myself.
I do think that second edition Pathfinder Rogue has kind of fixed some of those issues. It's like the Rogue is still a skill mule, but
They really do specialize into something.
Yeah, but they do a lot more specialization. So they're not, I have the key to every lock.
Yep.
I am the solution to every problem, and it's a lot more, well, I have solutions for a lot of problems, but we're still going to have to be creative. On paper, though, I'm still less excited about the second edition Rogue than traditional rogues. I think that just means that I have to play the Slayer instead.
Yeah, I think you'll enjoy Slayer.
Yeah, you and I have different play styles. I think you enjoy a full support build a lot more than I do.
Yeah. Hexblade Warlocks with any like main melee class always goes well in my opinion. I'm trying to stop playing Hexblade because I keep multiclassing them. Yeah, Hexblade is by far, I think, I want to say it's the most broken class in 5e, but it's not broken like too powerful. It's broken to utility. Like, it's just everybody should be able to have their cantrips work that way. And then the Warlock would be useless, so no one would take it. But that's how the game should work. Like, I feel like Warlock is definitely... Warlock should have been a play test to see how cantrips could be upgraded to be functional, and that does it. But that would also make spellcasting a lot less powerful, and I see why they don't do that. So... it's kind of one of those weird things. Artificer Rogue is a Swiss Army knife, yeah. The fighter's a lot to offer. Rune Knight, Echo Knight, and Psy Warrior stand out. I can't tell if that was sarcasm or not. I know a lot of people really get pissed off about the Rune Knight, but I think it's kind of interesting. Echo Knight's fun too. Echo Knight was a good idea, even though I'm not sure I quite like the way it was put out. Just because... The Whirling Dervish build, or the Dancing Dervish, Whirling Dervish, that's not right.
Dimensional Dervish,
thank you. From Pathfinder 1 was a really cool build, but it's impossible. Like, it wasn't built a way that people could play it without being like level 20. And I think the Echo Knight kind of gets what you want from it. And I think it could have been a little more streamlined still, but it's a good attempt, and I really appreciate that it's there. Totally not stealing lore from the Fallen London for my D&D campaign. Fallen London, is that a book? Movie? It is. Rogues. Sounds anticipating like problems, and if problems, creating problems for other people. What class is annoying because people use it too much? What, as DM you or like, could you try something else? My brain not work, or is sentence weird? What class is annoying because people use it too much? Warlock. And as a DM, you're like, could you try something else? Okay, got it. I'm not too worried about that. Monk was for a while for me, because I was trying to make a very low item, kind of like scroungy game, where I very much wanted people to have to make choices and figure out how to deal with stuff. And so people kept jumping in as sorcerers and monks because they don't require items to be successful. And it's just like, that's annoying, but okay. Like, it wasn't something that I told them not to. I mean, I did tell them initially not to do it, but they did it anyways. So otherwise, I don't really have a problem with any of the classes. Druid's kind of playing the same thing. Yeah, if you have a druid in your class, it's just like, hey, what if we never have to make a survival roll? It's like, okay, that's fine. Guess we're not playing a survival campaign then. Oh wait, we are? Interesting. So that's really more my problem, is like when you tell somebody what kind of campaign and then people try to min-max it and negate the campaign. It's really annoying. So. That'd be like the opposite of people being like, I'm going to play a wizard. It's like, okay, in this campaign, there's no magic. So you've already picked wizard. Too bad. Here's a wand that doesn't work. What's the issue with the Rune Knight? I'm about to play a Kobold Rune Knight who wants to be a dragon, so he uses the runes to get bigger. Is Rune Knight not good? Should I use a different subclass? No, I think Rune Knight's fine. If I remember right, some of the issues people were having with Rune Knight is just like the limitations on your spells. If you all you want to do is be big, the Rune Knight is perfect. Like that is, you're like right on the money.
Rune Knights don't get spells, right?
Well, then I'm thinking of something totally different.
Yeah.
Are you thinking of the Pathfinder Eldritch Knight?
No. Let me look up Rune Knight, because I might be thinking of the wrong thing. Because I thought the Rune Knight had like uses per day of certain abilities and spells. Is that not how it works?
I mean, there may be some runes that give you some spell-like abilities, but like, there's no like actual spells.
Okay, so this is semantic, and I'm not going to be mad at you for that, because you're correct. But like, at 3rd level, you get 2 runes, which are spells. You get 2 spells, which are runes. That's my argument.
Corvus is technically correct, which is the best kind of correct.
Yeah. So that's a fine actually, but I think that's people's argument is essentially they want something that is more viable. Like the Eldritch Knight has more spell possibilities, but they're much weaker and not as specialized. So if you like the runes that you can get with Rune Knight, you're happy and good, do that. Like it's fine. But people are mad that they don't just have access to like a huge spell list.
Well, what I was trying to mean is like, so like the Cloud Rune gives you advantage on dexterity checks for sleight of hand and charisma checks for deception. In addition, like you can see a creature, like if you see a creature that's going to hit you with an attack roll, you can use your reaction to evoke the rune, and you can choose a different creature. That's like what I was meaning. It's not like
starting at 3rd level, you can use magical runes to enhance your. Oh, so they're permanent. I thought they were casts.
Yeah,
they're not. They're just permanent runes you attach.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's what
I misunderstood that. Okay.
And you can use them like based on your proficiency mod and like constitution modifier, if I remember correctly.
Oh, okay, so here's like, so fire rune. This is what I was thinking about. When you hit a creature, it does give you a passive bonus, which is cool. But in addition, when you hit a creature with the attack using a weapon, you can invoke the rune to do 2d6 fire damage, do a strength check, blah, 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 blah. You can only invoke this rune. Once you invoke this rune, you can't do it until short rest. That's what I was thinking of. I thought that was the main thing. Same thing. Each rune has a passive and an active component. That's where I was confused. I was thinking only of the active components. Because you can also invoke like runic shield. That's the one I really like. Is because you can like shield other people with it and stuff like that.
Yeah. Rune Knight is great. I think people were expecting like another form of Eldritch Knight.
Yeah.
And that's not what they were wanting to put out.
Yep. And I think there's a very limited number of runes, which is also kind of a bummer.
Yeah.
And
so basically people wanted a Magus and they're upset that they didn't get a Magus.
Correct. That is what I think my argument I've gotten for it before.
And there's like 2 of them that are like level locked. You have to be 7th level or higher, but they're like the 2 of the best runes.
Fallen London, where hell is close, immortality is cheap, and the screaming has mostly stopped. Interesting. I just discovered Dark Sun on epic levels the other day, and it seems really cool. Yeah, epic levels are really fun. Pathfinder. Not like a lot. Dark Sun is scary, terrifying. Playing a druid in survival games is doable if the DM embraces it. Like a PC cleric is a campaign centered around church. Yeah. Yep. I think that's true. Like, I set up this whole thing where my players would have to like scrounge and do survival checks to try to find food as they traverse through a forest. My player was just like, I have good berry. And I was like, okay. So that's fine.
I feel called out.
You're not the only person that's ever done that to me. The people I played with on Wednesday also do that.
Well, I mean, that's what the good berry spell is designed for.
Keep telling yourself that. That's fine. My point being, it completely negates the other thing that druids are good at, which is survival checks. And so it's just like, you never have to look for food. So it negates a roll, which is fine because it takes a spell slot. So like I'm totally fine with people doing that. I've never told anybody not to do it. It's one of those things. It's like it negates rolls a little too good.
Yeah.
Partially because it's enough food for like 10 people. 10 people for a day.
No. 5e's Goodberry is way better than Pathfinder's Goodberry.
Because I really think I think Goodberry should only last for 8 hours. Because partially what happens is you have a party of 4. You make 10 Goodberries that last 24 hours. You eat it. You wait. You sleep, and then you eat it again. It's like that's technically 2 days of food for one spell slot for an entire party.
Yeah.
And that's too much. So if Goodberry had like a 1 hour use time or 8 hours at the most, so that you couldn't carry it over, I would be much happier with it.
The old version of the Goodberry spell, it did not conjure good berries. You had to find berries and enchant them.
Yeah, I think now you just need mistletoe, which I'm very lax on my spell components, and so that's another way that I could also combat it. But I figure if my players really want to do it that way, then I'm not going to force them to do survival rolls, because that just becomes hobbits walking through the forest for days, and it's like, you know what, if they're not into that, I'm not into it. That's fine.
Walk.
Yeah.
Walk. And then they run.
Such a good song. All right, I think I am done with this skeletal man. We've been drawing for like an hour. So
and I'm
go
going super slow. This is very cool, but I'm going super slow.
My buddy said I'm horrible druid, as my druid is just plant focused instead of animals. I mean, that's totally fine. You gotta pick.
I usually go plant focused druid as well. I felt a little bit guilty in the Tower of Ashfont campaign where you're like, you're gonna need mistletoe for that, and I was like, we discussed this, Rook. I asked if it was okay if I had it literally growing on my antlers, and you said sure. I'll undo that if you want, but
can I have everything I want for free and not have to deal with any of your stuff?
I didn't ask for everything I wanted for free. I asked for the basics to allow me to cast any of my spells.
That's everything. That's the whole campaign.
Bad campaign. I'm kidding.
All right, I'm drawing a tiny.
And you approved it, and then you got mad at me for you having approved it.
We're moving on. I didn't actually get mad at you. No, I mean, I'm totally fine with Druid having it. Like, I wasn't gonna not let you cast your spells, because if I invited you to my campaign, and then you were like, I want to do this one thing, and I'm like, well, that goes against the entire campaign's concept, and you're like, but I really want to do it, and I was like, all right, go ahead. Like, it's fine, and it worked, and it was fine. But my gripe is, you knew what you were doing. You purposely chose something that was very powerful against the DM. That's frustrating. Which is fine. I am totally fine with it. Yo-Yo Loach is what I'm drawing now. Someone wants me to draw I lost it. A thin loach creature. 19? Warlock. So we're drawing a fish warlock. The lead row. But it's Goodberry filling. How about giving your players a munchie roll? Consequences, what are those? Can you imagine the loss of morale from eating nothing but a single cranberry every day for a week? That's true too. That is true too. Y'all ever do one shots? Yeah, sometimes. We've done a couple of them. Using fine steed and then harvesting the meat. I don't allow that.
Isn't fine steed actually
it's conjuration magic?
It's a conjuration, so if the animal dies, it's supposed to disappear, right?
I think so, yeah. So that's why I don't allow that. But,
it's also unusually intelligent, so it's
super evil if you try to attempt it. I'm thinking that someone is trying to get everything they want without consequences. No, okay. So for real, Druid, I was not upset about your character when we played. The campaign itself was kind of devolving anyways, which is why you got invited to it, because it's like, we need more people playing, and then you jumped in with a very powerful character for the campaign, and I'm like, that's fine. I just need the players to go, and then everything just devolved and exploded.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, this campaign is over.
I would argue because of the stats I rolled, he wasn't actually that powerful. He was able
This is
to
not what
hold
I'm
his
talking
own.
about.
But yes, no, I understand you.
Okay.
And I did know what I was doing, and I'm just picking at it.
After we get started, wondering how Wizards Familiars would taste. Fire roasted? Yeah, that's not good. That's not a good way to do it. I did say never mind the fact that it's Phantasmal Steed. It's really funny. How long ago was this? Oh, I don't know. Sorry, I might have missed it. I'm trying to do too many things, and I have to draw another fish.
Yep.
Which, to the person that keeps asking me to draw scientifically named fish, please just tell me the name of the fish, because otherwise I have to stop and go look up the scientific name of whatever it is I'm trying to draw. So I would appreciate it if you would just tell me what
common
names, please. Because then I have to try to say and or look it up, and that just takes too much time.
Isn't a loach the common name?
I had to look it up so I could say the common name. Because I'm not going to try to read what it actually says.
Oh right, I got the same thing with that. With also a loach actually that I
Yeah.
drew. Was it last Friday?
I think so. Yeah.
Look, from one biology to a simp, I get it. It's fun to show off that you know the Latin names of things.
Not helpful to the artist. Not helpful to the artist. All right, blue.
Considering most people don't know what those are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If
If we want to talk about plant Latin names, I have a better chance, but
How long ago was this campaign? Sorry. Oh, that was like a year ago now.
yeah, it was a while ago.
No, the whole
Almost
campaign
2
was,
years
which
ago.
I might try to start it up again because I finished it. I finished it with some other people, and it might be a fun way to do one shots, which is what it was originally intended. But the problem was it was supposed to be one shots in a setting, and I only had 3 people that wanted to play, so we just ran it as a whole campaign.
Yeah. It became episodic.
And then it just dwindled and went nuts and went sideways, and people stopped showing up. So
To be fair, that does happen to most D&D campaigns
Yeah, that was
eventually.
fine. If you want to check those out, those are on my channel. You can go to the channel. You can go to Red and Blue Team, and you can check those out if you want to watch them. Yeah. All right, Loach Warlock. Here we go. They're so pointy.
Sorry,
They're so
I
pointy.
abandoned your campaign.
That's all right. I mean, that was the point. It wasn't supposed to be. I had a few people jump in and want it to be this like super long, powerful thing, and it's like, I mean, it's supposed to be episodic and bouncing it out, but I had to learn a lot to get it to work, and I think I could do it better now.
Yeah.
But there was the big thing of people jumping into the campaign where she were in a prison, and they're just like, what do you mean I can't have all of these crazy things that I wanted to bring with my character? It's like, yeah, it's supposed to start off at level. We were even started at level 0, just to get people kind of into it, and a lot of people weren't into it, so that's fine.
I think that was my biggest issue I had, is like a dungeon delve thing that's like, oh, you're level 0. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And I think I was having issues with the Foundry at the time as well. I was like, I'm so confused and lost, and what the hell am I doing?
Yeah, and also we were playing with some, like, when we tried playing with you, that was when we tried adding more people to the game, and that was just, I think we added 3 or 4 people at that point, and nobody continued playing. So it was really hard to try to get the parties to work out, because it was just a lot of people trying to find the time for it. And so if I did it again, I think what I would do is I would schedule a time, just like X date, X time. If you can show up, cool, you'll be in that one shot, and then we'll be done. Because by the time we started with that, it was already in that moment of yeah, I guess it's episodic now. So I was trying to catch people up, and it didn't work. It didn't work out the same way. You have to learn. I'll have to learn stuff. And I think what we're doing now with Pathfinder on Druid's campaign is more or less what I wanted to do anyways. It's fine. It's fine. Is fish.
Everything is fish.
I think it's fish. So this is for D&D Beyond users. One thing that aggravates me is the fact that there's no folders or sort the characters you made into. I want to put all my character ideas into a folder. I thought on doing a game set in the modern world. I know a few people who are doing that. There's a few different ways you can do it too. Doesn't really seem to be a problem. As for D&D Beyond, yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure how you would go about doing that. I do also find it annoying that, like, when I make characters, they're just in a giant page. It's like, wait, which character was this one for? Yeah. Putting them into a game helps with that, but I don't know if you can do that the same way that I can, because I have the DM stuff.
I've always wondered what sort of decisions they were making that had to do with server space.
Money.
And yeah, like monetary restrictions. Because like they provided a fair number of services for free, and they also definitely needed to keep a lot of data centers running. So
yeah, D&D Beyond works surprisingly well for what it is, but at the same time,
it could be better.
It could be better.
Yeah, I won't argue that point.
Like Path Builder is, they're kind of on the same model, except that, one, all the shit's free, right? Because it's based off the SRD. So like you don't get trapped behind a paywall. That's the first frustrating part. But then with them, they're like, you can only have one character saved at a time. And it's just like, excuse me now? So like they put it locally. So it's like, why can't you just save as many local characters as you want? Because then it's not saved on your server, period.
Yeah.
You can.
So, you really?
I can have up to 10 saved locally, I think.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Like I have.
When I initially did it, it was only you could only save it to your local cache folders. So you have to like physically move them, but maybe then I paid for it, so it didn't matter. But now I can save them anywhere.
I think it still is only saved to local cache, but you can save up to 10.
Yeah.
Interesting. Cool. That's good.
Also, there is a paywall for Path Builder. Is you cannot do anything with familiars, animal companions, or eidolons.
Oh, interesting.
You had to pay for it. So yeah. Well,
douche to them, I guess. But I paid for like $3, and so now I don't care anymore. Wait, guys, level 0. That's a really cool idea. Yeah, you've never seen a level 0. The level 0 campaigns are really fun. You start off with a base stat block and without a class subclass, and then you thrust into the adventuring order. You find reasons to become that class. Yeah, that's it. You done did it. Never done it before. Yeah, it's really fun. I like it, but it very much is you can't go into the game kind of wanting to be one thing, right? And I think that's a fun way to play a story if your DM kind of guides you into those things, which is really what I wanted to do with that campaign. And so at each step of the way, I would offer people, like, when you're leveling up, you can choose these because this is what you've been doing. And for the most part, everyone is just like, nope, I'm doing the thing that I came here and wanted to do. And it's like, okay, people like just making their own characters. I'm going to stop fighting it. Just like let it happen. So it was an interesting experiment. But level 0 is really fun, especially if you start with like 3 NPCs. And then when you make a roll, you roll for your stats at that time, and then that kind of builds your character. But people there are ways to exploit it. And so at that point, it's like, if you just want to roll a character. I don't care. Like, you have to want to do the level 0 character.
Yeah. I tend to have a hard time with playing in level 0 campaigns because I tend to play more kind of role play focused, which means I feel like I need to know who my character is before I start playing them, and I have a hard time knowing any of that without being able to build for them.
And we've talked about that.
Their stats and their background, etc., etc.
Because for me, I very much like to figure out my character's backstory and stuff as I play. Like I don't like to know all that stuff beforehand. You can make a basic NPC and throw notes in there. Oh, that would be interesting. Make them like NPC bartender and then just keep the notes in their sheets. Is that something you do in 5e, or is that a suggestion? In case you missed it, the link to Black and White Magic is posted earlier in the chat. Oh, in the YouTube chat? I did miss that. Hold on a second. Let me find this.
Was that advice for the NPCs to save ideas in D&D Beyond?
Yeah, bro, I'm a little confused about that. I'm gonna guess, John, that YouTube booted it out because I don't see it. I'll just have to look it up later. I'll just have to look it up on YouTube because I don't think you're in Discord. I think level 0 games have been replaced by backgrounds a little bit. Yeah, like that's one thing when you pick your backgrounds, they are basically discerning the bonuses and stuff you should be getting for your backgrounds that the DM could usually give you. Which that's a fine way to do it too. And I think the background should be your backstory, you know. But yeah, level 0 can be a lot of fun. The way I was introduced to level 0 campaigns, my friend basically gave us 3 level 0 commoners and ran us through a gauntlet, essentially, of like, the goblins are attacking the town, and then whichever character survives is the character you play. And so you might want to play something, but then, you know, your wizard's the one like, oh, I'm actually really intelligent, maybe I should play a wizard. And then you kind of decide how you're going to become an adventurer at that point.
Rick, it sounds like to me you would love Warhammer Fantasy tabletop. Not
Maybe.
like with the minis, but like the actual RPG where you basically start out as a farmer and you have to literally scrounge your way to get powerful.
I don't know, like so like
that
people,
sounds like something you like.
It does sound like that. Like EVE Online is kind of like that. Like you start with very little, and you have to try to build up a giant galactic empire and spaceships and stuff. But you're dealing with other players and pirates, and it's all about mining and economics. And I'm like, that sounds great. And then I started playing it, and I was just like, I hate this. I hate this a lot. So it really is a.
It depends on game balance.
It depends on a lot of things, but it sounds like something I would like. It sounds like, I mean, Warhammer in general, it sounds like something I would like, but in practice, I've never been able to get into it.
Yeah.
So, who knows?
Because it's very much like.
Yeah, John, it looks like YouTube's blocking it. So.
People always will say, like, one thing you should always do is have, like, at least 3 other characters as backup characters, because your first character probably will die.
Yeah.
Easily.
I tell people that in D&D, and they just don't listen. I love backup characters.
All right, I'm finally done with my warm-up an hour and a half later.
This is my Loach Warlock.
Is a loach like a type of catfish?
Yeah.
Okay.
Little long-snooted catfish.
Yeah. The little whiskered
sorry.
algae suckers.
Okay.
My DMs don't usually unalive characters. They need to try harder. I've actually had very few, like, I don't think I've ever, I might have TPK'd people once. I don't think I've ever TPK'd a
baby
whole party.
bronze dragon. Or brass dragon.
Yeah, that was real close. I did a Bomberman thing once, which I think is great, but it almost killed the whole party. It killed like 2 of the people. That was not smart. Anyone see the info on
scrolling
the book I posted? Yeah, John, sorry. I think YouTube is just really picky about... You're rolling a D30. However you want to do that. YouTube is really picky about posting links in the chat, so... Which is fine. I'll look it up later.
Like, if you're not a member or a mod, it generally boots any links that are being shared.
And I don't have a way to, like, approve it or anything. I guess you could post it in a comment, and then I could look at it later. 11 is a marble warforge. Oh, like the rock marble. Okay, marble warforge that bleeds liquid gold. Half-elf turned to stone marble by a gorgon. Oh, that's kind of cool. So it's a half-elf. Stone half-elf. An old mindless party. As far as she knows, she's the only one left. Woke up on the river shore with no idea how long she's been out. So, half-elf turned to stone by a gorgon. I don't have a class. Let me look here. Slightly insane is the last part that I couldn't read. Slightly insane. So I guess your options here are a marbled warforge that bleeds liquid gold, or a stone half-elf, or a combination of the two.
Well, warforged could look like anything, so...
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, the warforged is a kind of a very specific vibe to them anyways, versus a character that's been turned to stone, you know?
That's fair.
I don't know what I'm doing anymore. This is just a warlock fish. I've made like Friar Tuck, but with the nightmare sword.
I mean, wasn't it supposed to just be a fish that was a warlock?
Yeah, I guess so. Sorry, Palmont. I keep missing your chats because it's in the Discord and I'm only on the YouTube. I was super close to TPKing everyone in one shot on a sci-fi setting, and I had 3 guys infiltrate and steal info. How could a character do anything other than hold someone's hat if they turn to stone? Fair. Like, that is a fair thing. Maybe they broke apart and then got turned into a warforge? Like we were talking about earlier?
It's that thing where somebody said, oh, look, this is a corpse. What if I animate it?
I just need to make the joints move, and this is already done. Everything else is built.
That's weird. Now it's bleeding liquid gold. It's probably fine.
Oh, no.
Keeps it from completely falling apart because marble is kind of a crappy rock.
Marble is weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. I think I'm done with this loach ball. Don't know what else to do with it.
Looks great.
It's pretty good. We'll give him an eyeball necklace so it matches the motif. Should have made it like a goat eye.
Or an octopus eye.
Yeah.
Ooh, even better. Oh god, cuttlefish eye. Little W.
They look like W's.
Yeah.
That? They have three holes.
It's literally like this.
Oh, weird. All right. Oh, I drew a V, not a W.
Yeah.
No, I'm embarrassed.
They have like the eyes of those of like the people who run the Trade Federation in Star Wars.
Oh yeah, they're cuttlefish. All right, I gotta take off. Have a great day. Thanks, John. We'll catch you later. I've never fully killed one of my players' characters. I've killed one person, but they got revived. Yeah, reviving people usually works out. I usually play with pretty normal paladins and stuff, or clerics in my party, so that they almost always have.
You okay?
Sorry, I just got a phone call. I need to
Oh,
look at it real quick.
I was afraid he was pulling a Mitch McConnell.
No, that's my bad.
Also, the cuttlefish you posted, Drew, all I can see is baby Dr. Zoidberg. I don't know why. I don't even know that's what he looks like as a baby. But I just see baby Dr. Zoidberg.
Okay, I'm gonna have to look at that later. Give me 1 second here, guys. I gotta take this phone call. Sorry. You're back.
No
1
worries.
second. And then I'm gonna draw the next guy.
Corvus and I will try to hold down the fort.
Yep, I can gush about Rage of Elements, which is great because definitely going to be getting it next week.
Rage of
I
Elements.
really
Is
like the
that-
new elemental planes.
That's the new Pathfinder.
Yeah, it's called Rage of Elements. It has the new Kinesis class. So basically, all the spells are arcane and primal spells. There's a few exceptions where they're like can be divine or occult spells.
Mm.
So I'm incredibly excited because I'm totally taking all the wisp spells for my Goran character. Because
Of course.
it's perfect. There's also 2 new like genie heritages. There's a Talos, which is a or not Earth, but metal genie kin heritage, and then there's the Aradande, which is the wood genie heritage. So you can make a Mercury person if you want. Betty, is that a character suggestion?
Hillbilly halfling cleric with a cooking pot for his helmet. Stove door plate armor.
I was gonna say, I'm immediately thinking of Johnny Appleseed.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, it looks like one.
Hey, it's Muzan from Demon Slayer. AKA Michael Jackson.
Okay. Sorry. I was trying to get my truck fixed, and apparently they want to charge me like 3 times what I thought it would cost to repair it, so I don't think I'm going to do that. Okay. We're going to roll some dice here and go from there. 20. Half flesh, half bone warforged barbarian fighter. Well, wait, half flesh warforged? Like a normal warforged, or is it made out of flesh? That's confusing.
They can. Yeah, I would say maybe just kind of base it off like a flesh golem.
Yeah.
Which some people may not know are things.
Cyborg is what I'm hearing, says Palamon.
It does sound like a cyborg. Ba.
Yep.
Fighter barbarian, huh? What kind of pose are we gonna do for a fighter barbarian? Maybe something like this. We haven't done something like this in a while.
Power pose.
I love a lady in a power pose.
Also, there was another suggestion that came in while you were
okay.
gone.
Where was that?
Hillbilly halfling cleric.
Cooking pot for a helmet. All right. Put that on the list.
Wait, what?
What happened?
Oh no, I was reading chat and a bit confused about something.
The clothes, I don't believe they changed with you unless DM lets it. Found a near name. Oh yeah, found a near name for my land druid shifter before. The fairy named her, I think, Chai Muffin Fiddlesticks. Okay. Buddy Duncan. Yeah, E-Hound, I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Unless you're somehow been back on previous part of the stream, then maybe hit live.
I'm a little confused about what's going on. What's the
If they're
Discord?
not up with us, then it's going to take them forever to hear that.
Yeah, I kind of, it dawned on me when I said that, Ari said it, I'm like, well, oh well.
You can play a shard mine. I haven't played a shard mine. I've had lots of people suggest them, but I have a disapproval of psychic characters. So maybe not a disapproval, but a chip on my shoulder. So I've never played one. One second.
I need to figure out how I'm going to make this person look like they're made out of marble.
Model them on the David statue and just give him 20 years. I'm assuming that's marble.
It is. It was thought to be an excellent piece of marble because it was exceptionally white, but it turns out it actually had a massive flaw going all the way through it, and it made Michelangelo famous specifically because the artist who worked on it before Michelangelo, in order to try to avoid this huge weakness in the stone, put one of the hips in way too far. And basically didn't know how to fix it, and ruined what even at the time would be a like multi-billion-dollar chunk of rock. Yeah, and Michelangelo was like, hey, you know what? Actually, I can fix that. And he did. That's why he got famous. That's why the Medici loved him so much. Unfortunately, the Medici did not learn fast enough that they should not pay him before he did a project. He was not great with money. Or time management.
Yeah,
Anyway,
that's always
is-
like the biggest thing with marble is there's so many like internal cracks they have, and
yeah.
Okay, let's just do this.
you got this, Rick. You got it.
Sorry, I'm upset. Trying to deal with this truck thing. I was like, I'll just
Yeah.
email this to another guy, but I'll figure it out. Figure it out later.
We'll do it
believe you.
live.
Let's see if I can draw some cool Warforged stuff. Half flesh golem, huh? And I wondered if people are just using Warforged to denote like constructs in general.
Yeah,
That's kind of what I'm thinking now.
certainly what it feels like.
Yeah. Which
In
is
which
a way
case-
of doing it.
Yeah. In which case, go play First Edition Pathfinder. There's a template. You can make anything a construct.
Yeah. The stream reset for me, and that was weird. Yeah, I don't know what that was. That was kind of strange, Ian. I'm not sure what you were asking about with the clothes and stuff. Favorite lycanthrope, huh? I mean, can't go wrong with a werewolf. Werebear's pretty neat.
I don't like lycanthropes. Sorry. Don't hate me, Bri.
Wire ants.
Were-ants.
Yep.
I could do something fun with a were-ant.
Wereshark's always a funny one. This is supposed to be a bone.
So I'm a big fan of werebats. Don't know why. Just probably because of Man-Bat from DC.
Man-Bat's a pretty good one. See if I can get some weird skeletal fingers in here. I think my pen's gotten too large now. Making drawing details very difficult. How big am I drawing? Am I zoomed in? No, I'm doing alright. I'm gonna have
I'll
like
have a repeat of that one day.
big old yeah. Everything was just super zoomed in on Discord. Should we do no eyes, or should we do...
One eye.
Not sure what I would do with that. I have a feeling that my truck is going to become an ongoing project that I have to work on now. Probably fine.
Sorry to hear that.
That's all right. I don't drive it very often. I've had it for 20 years now. It's basically just been sitting in my front yard for the last 3 years. What's the Discord? There's a link in the Discord down below, in the comments. And the Discord is basically where we hang out and share artwork and D&D characters and stuff. So you're always welcome to come join us.
Yep.
You can hang out in the voice channel, chat with us, although
will
for
be
the
muted.
purposes of safeguarding the monetization of Rook's channel, you won't be able to speak. So just so you're aware.
Okay, I'm trying to make like bands. Of the
Bands?
bodies, like like metal bands that are holding the body together.
Okay.
Because it seems to be the flavor of the day, we're gonna do more ribs. Skeletal ribs. Maybe this one, since it's a fighter, we'll add the muscles in on top. I guess I always want to go like really skeletal when people want skeleton or like bone constructs, but since this one's so fleshy, I think we're gonna go a little meatier. My golem doesn't have any skin. If you guys would like to do any commissions, let me know. I have a car payment I need to make now. Would like to. Yeah.
Give Rook all your money.
Or come fix my car.
Portion of your money.
People would like to trade art for car repairs. That would be great.
Live somewhere in the greater Seattle area.
Yeah. guy's looking kind of ghoulish. Which I'm not mad about. Were Ravens pretty cool. Yeah, that can be fun. I tend to think of Kenkus as just Were Ravens, but I think that's an interesting way that you could look at them, swap them back and forth. And Monster Manual Live, Turning P Season 1. Yeah, I have a whole book dedicated to doing that kind of stuff. It's pretty great. I believe I joined it correctly. Carbot is neat. Yeah, being able to just check the green checkbox and then select what things you want to see, and then you can kind of just start hanging out. 12:44. Okay. Okay.
I'm gonna go and grab me something to eat real quick, so I'll be back.
Sounds like a good idea.
A little bit later.
I should probably grab a snack or something. Yeah, we'll keep going for right.
I'm moving really slow today. That's gonna be okay, I think.
I'm not super active on Discord. Mostly use it to message friends. Yeah, that's
Same. Message friends, play D&D.
Yep. Seems to be the general consensus.
I don't even know how to use Discord as like a general social media thing where you can find things to be interested in.
Yeah, I don't know if there is. They're trying to add the search functionality for finding communities, which apparently I'm set up for that. But yeah, I don't think anybody actually uses it that way. Kind of people invite you to the things that they're at and go from there. I want to do something with the head here, and I don't know what to do with it. I guess it's pretty creepy if it's just a skull, but give him like horns? Horns feel right. Like I feel like I feel like I want to make this arm more bony, but I don't know how to do that. I guess the elbow can come up like this. Doing it as a general social media seems scary, though. Yeah, I wouldn't use it like that. Give him a sombrero? I think that might clash with the aesthetic. Okay, we'll do another skull on this side. Get to work. No problem, Palmer. Catch you later. What? Oh no. Forgotten how to draw hands. That's better. Okay.
Every damn time.
Yeah. Every time. I think I'm about done with this guy.
I think I can wrap this up fairly soon too. This was a bit of a difficult prompt.
Yeah, the marble thing would have thrown me through a loop. Like, I don't know how I would have. Partially because I just don't want to draw marble, but like.
Yeah. I mean, I don't either, but I look at a lot of it, so.
It's got a unique aesthetic. The gold bleeding thing, I think, is pretty. I can't remember what it's called, but the like that's a whole style. Repairing things with gold.
Oh yeah, the pottery where you repair it with gold filigree.
Which seems like it's right up your alley, so you probably have more knowledge information than I do about that.
I know 2 different ways that it's done. One very cheap, one very expensive. But generally that is a Japanese aesthetic and practice, which I very much like and appreciate, but I generally prefer Korean ceramics.
Reborn lineage has an Android type option in the origin table. Interesting. I didn't know that. Look at the book, just needs tons of lineages and suches. Yeah, they're like Pathfinder has a pretty good. They have a whole book just for ancestries, which is kind of their race guide.
Which is very cool.
Yeah, 5e just is a little more strict about that kind of stuff. And then they give us like 3 owl people and 5 different kinds of cats. And it's like, just make more stuff. Make more stuff.
Still 0 dog people.
Still confused about that. I don't understand.
Same.
Okay, I'm done with this bad boy. Let's go ahead and get another one started. What time is it? It is 1 o'clock. Yes, we got time for more. I'm gonna get a drink real quick. 1 second.
Still known as an official bear race. Poor bear. Yeah, seriously, Bray. Rook's got that otter race out there in D&D Beyond. If you guys aren't aware of that, go watch Rook's otter. Why you should play an otter video. It's very good, actually.
Okay. I think they're getting there slowly but eventually. I mean, slowly but eventually, and they're about to transition
to one D&D,
yeah.
which is no longer going to be a thing, I guess, because people were so done with it. I guess I don't know. I'm not actually sure. At this point, I'm so confused.
I mean, they're essentially
WotC.
not. They're not stopping what they were doing. They're just trying to rebrand it.
Yeah.
Homebrew or published materials. I mean, I'm fine. I guess I stick to published materials more, but I homebrew a lot.
Yeah.
So usually when I go look something up online and I see it's homebrew, I just like, I'll do it myself.
I told everybody that they should go look at your Otterfolk video.
Okay. It's a good one.
And your Otterfolk stats are still published on D&D Beyond, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Wave the tum-tum. Male Genasi Gravekeeper. Use a shovel for a weapon. Uh-oh, this just says male Genasi. Like, what kind of Genasi? That's the...
We don't get water Genasis a lot, do that.
Yeah. Is male Genasi a new type? Just oozing masculinity? Blue!
From the plane of men are from Mars.
Yeah.
What Andrew Tate claims he is.
Right. What a dick.
Let's not give him any more platform than he already has. I'm gonna move swiftly on from that little bite of force. I think I'm okay with the marble. Putting in the veins, doing it very carefully, actually, I think it carries a lot of the marble aesthetic, or it does a lot to make it look.
Yeah. That's looking pretty good.
Marbly.
Which one, air or water, is lacking some of those? Gremlins every day. Water folks and gremlins. Gravedigger.
I love an air genasi.
It feels weird to me to draw an air genasi. It's a gravedigger, though.
Yeah. I mean, I would
almost
Gravedigger
assume it was a earth genasi.
should be an earth. Yeah.
A mud genasi.
Although what I'm drawing is basically an earth genasi as well.
Yeah.
Kind of close where we put on a gravedigger.
I mean work clothes, right?
Yeah. Sand or magma. Did they actually add sand genasi?
I don't remember. I know historically lava genasi were a thing.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they have those in Pathfinder in 3.5.
Yeah. Because there was in 3rd/3.5 and 4th edition, there was this whole thing where they had para-elemental planes.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's like,
I mean, all the different
Some
methods.
weird
exist, though. And actually, that
Yeah.
I remember running into that issue with like looking at Pathfinder and D&D is that like the smoke methods, sand methods, and like some of them existed in D&D and some of them didn't. So I had to like bounce around because there's like ice and water and fire and ice. I already said ice. Sand, dust. I don't know why sand and dust were different, but smoke is there too, and smoke and wind.
There's a steam genasi.
Steam, that was the other one.
Yeah, the one thing that I worry about with the new book being released from Pathfinder is I'm a little bit afraid we're getting into that territory again, and I'm not 100% sure I'm okay with having that many like in between elemental planes. I'm not sure I like the idea of elemental planes like in general to begin with.
Yeah. Well, they only have 6 right now.
Yeah, but like
6.
publish bloat is a thing that has always happened in every edition of of a long-running TTRPG. So
which in Pathfinder methods are no longer called methods. They're called scamp.
yeah,
Which is elementals.
Hilarious, but also yeah, I like it.
Yeah, there was like even like a blood genasi and plague genasi. So back in 3.5.
Blood genasi.
Yep.
I'm not sure what that does.
Your guess is as good as mine.
Yeah. I feel like
yes,
every genasi is probably a blood genasi.
Yeah, the blood element.
Yeah, like I said, it got because in addition to para-elemental planes, there was quasi-elementals.
Okay. I mean,
which
I
I
guess,
think is where the blood came from.
Yeah. I would see that being like the same thing, a flesh golem, right? Like,
yeah.
But there should be a flesh elemental. That doesn't make sense. But then you do also have like the mud. The mud is kind of not really an element, but it's made up of elements. I don't know.
The
Theme
reason
the
I'm
Gravedigger
okay
for the
with
1930s.
the reason I'm okay with the metal and wood elements is because those incorporate a more Eastern tradition of elements as opposed to the kind of Western alchemy based 4 elements, earth, water, air, fire. I believe the Eastern elements are earth, metal, wood, fire,
water.
And
water.
Yeah.
They exclude the air.
Well, that's because wood encapsulates air.
Mm-hmm.
Which is wood really more of just like life?
Yeah. Wood is organic. It is the element that represents life and breath. Anyway.
Favorite dragon not in 5e? Void Dragon. Void Dragon is awesome. Looks like owns deserve more lore. I mean, they have a bunch in Magic the Gathering. You could go check that out. What's the other one? I don't know if I have a... I mean, the Goloma need more lore, because they just don't exist.
Same with Kanrasu.
Yeah, Kanrasu need more lore.
On the new book, they kind of released a new Kanrasu creature type.
Is it like a wind elemental Kanrasu?
No, it's also a plant thing. It's from the new wood plane. It's
Nice.
kind of cute looking, actually.
Alright, let's check that out.
There's also a lava otter now.
Lava otter? Is it a creature or a playable race?
Is a creature.
Okay.
Right, because the Fey otter that copies people's voices and lures them to their deaths in the water wasn't enough. It's fine.
I mean, there is a playable otter alien species in Starfinder because,
Oh yeah,
I mean,
Starfinder's compatible now.
Yeah.
well, will be.
I'm excited about that. You know what that
Same.
means? More bugs. People gonna play
Yeah, there's a
bugs.
lot of
People gonna play
bugs.
rats.
I mean, we could
Space
already
alien.
play rats.
Yeah.
Tiny Lilo and
But-
Stitch monsters.
Though
Raccoons.
I
Go
think
ahead.
the thing I'm looking forward to the most is like see how they handle some of the classes for Starfinder, because those are going to be eventually ported over as well. And so
They're
it's like
pretty close. Like, I think
they're weird. I looked into it last night, and they have this thing called stamina points,
Mhm.
which apparently is a thing in second edition as an optional rule, but I have no idea what they are.
I'll have to look into that too. Just got into Starfinder. I don't have a group yet, but I've been looking into it. Nice.
It feels very much like it is stuck in between Pathfinder 1E and Pathfinder 2nd Edition in this weird, like, half space.
I think Starfinder First Edition was kind of like that. I think they took a lot from that for Second Edition. But I could be wrong.
What prompt does a 7 get me?
7 will get you. One I drew yesterday. A lanky deer satyr monster slayer. Wow. Okay, hold on. Lanky deer satyr,
Okay.
comma, monster slayer ranger with sawed-off antlers, covered in freckles and wielding a heavy crossbow. Doubling as a greatsword? Oh my. Giant crossbow sword.
Crossbow greatsword.
I dig it.
That doesn't really work, but okay.
Make it work. I'm kidding.
Okay. They didn't give a gender for the satyr?
No.
Then they're male.
Well, they have antlers.
If they're supposed to be based on a reindeer, it doesn't matter.
Fair.
I think the female satyrs have horns.
Yeah, I think
Oh.
all satyrs have horns.
Generally. But like kind of my actually thing is sorry to do this so much this week.
No male satyrs? No female satyrs? Oh, that's cool.
In traditional Greek lore, no female satyrs. The nymph is the counterpart.
In our group,
the-
we had a rule of lycanthropy had infected and trueborns. Infected can do humans and hybrids. Trueborns have one or two parents that can do human hybrid. Interesting.
Interesting. Anyway, long story short, female fawns, no female satyrs
Gotcha.
in my book. Great sword, crossbow.
I would just draw a
do
great
that.
sword and then put a little arrow on the hilt.
That is a weapon type that got released in one of Pathfinder's new books.
Really? Because I feel like it's a monster hunter
Yeah.
bullshit weapon.
That's what I felt too, but
And there's technically not a sword, but there is a lancer weapon,
Yeah,
which looks like that.
The gun lance. Let's see. Oh. Blah. Druid's not happy. I don't see how you could use that and not shoot yourself. You're gonna end up with 4 crossbow bolts embedded in your forearm.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's in the Discord chat. People who care.
Yep.
It's bad.
I'm more okay with this one.
Just a crossbow with a sword on the end of it, or a blade on the end of it.
So yeah, it's like it's a schizor, which is like a fist weapon that has like a wrist-mounted crossbow.
Pretty sure that's Pokemon.
Where do you think they got the name for? It's one of the gladiator
really?
weapons.
The Pokemon's named after the item.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Pokemon Scizor is named after the bladed weapon.
Well, I think it's a Scythor, but because it has scythe for hands. But
Well, it's evolution Schizor, which
oh,
has
really? Okay.
pincers.
Yeah.
I thought that was just a bastardization of scissors.
I mean,
I thought so at first too.
It's fine.
yeah, there's a gladiator weapon from ancient Rome that was literally just like kind of like a guitar, but it was like a crescent-shaped blade. You kind of just punch people with.
They look real dumb.
Yeah. Gladiator weapons not meant to be practical. Who would have
Fair.
thought?
Look at how cool I am.
Yep. They look even more dumb whenever you see it with like actual gladiator helmets.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Drawing hands is hard. War shovel, exactly. I need more war spades.
So a trench shovel.
No. Those are only this big. Oop, hold on a second.
A war shovel is basically I think it's pronounced Assegai or Assegai, the Zulu African tribe short spear. Big old shovel nose spears.
Yeah. There's also the monk spades, which kind of have like a shovel-like blade at one end.
Yeah. Need a finer face for a deer-based satyr.
Burn?
Talking to myself. Sorry. I was doing a buff chunky goat satyr and antlers then deer-based, which means finer frame in my mind.
Your satyrs.
see. I'm so caught up on this stupid weapon.
I'm sorry.
Alright, so... You really can't hold a heavy crossbow. This is worse than a gunblade. I'm sorry. Logistically, it doesn't make any sense.
Well, I guess my way around it would be like it's a crossbow with like a short sword bayonet on it.
But they said, but it's a great sword.
I know.
Hate it so much. Just have different weapons. I'm sorry, chat. This was your suggestion. I'm sorry. I'm just...
Druid is persnickety about weapons.
Druid's persnickety about a lot of pointless shit. And I'm not
What
afraid
being
to
a
admit
nerd
it.
is all about.
Exactly. I know too much for this to be viable. No,
But
sorry.
also don't worry.
I think I know too much for this to be viable.
I feel the same way about certain combination weapons in Pathfinder 2nd Edition. They're just too stupid to exist.
Sure. I'm sure. I guarantee everybody has something that they're pissy about with regards to that weapon. Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, like a gun trident that you can throw and retrieve back.
Magic.
Yeah, no.
Let's see. How am I gonna do this?
Happy thoughts. Think of happy little lava otters swimming in a sea of lava.
That is adorable, but also they would have to be so dense. Molten lava is only barely less dense than actual rock. Alright, forget the weapon, get a pose. Forget the weapon, do a pose.
Yep. Magma scorpions.
Magma scorpions are cool. There are actually a lot of really cool fire-themed creatures.
Mm-hmm.
I love a fire variant of a purple worm, the crimson worm.
Mm.
Well, I don't know if they have those in 5e.
I believe they do. They're pretty, like... They love their worm monsters.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. I'm back, sorry.
Lots of phone calls today.
Yeah, I mean, the guy was just basically told me my truck's shit.
Oh.
And partially it's because I took it to the dealer because I wanted them to see, like, it's a really old Toyota. So I was like, I want to see what the dealership thinks is old and wrong with it.
Yep.
And they told me everything. So they basically want to charge me the price of a new car to fix my car. And it's like, yeah, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do this. The YouTube channel might turn into a Rook Fixes His Car channel. We'll see how that goes.
I'll still hang out if that's the case.
Been a long time since I actually did any work on my truck, which, I mean, apparently. So I think that's where I'm just gonna end up doing it myself. Alright, I'm done with this bad boy. Shovel Lord here. I'm not sure what else to do with him.
Double died.
Shovel Lord. Well, what time is it? It is. Well, it's only 1:20. All right. Let's do more. What are we at? 25? Plus 5 is 22. A Damphir Tortle. Long Death Monk, Spore Druid, Barbarian, Trained Assassin. Lots of 3 classes in here today. Raised by a death cult struggling with his consuming hunger and rage. Alright. Vampire Turtle. Why have people... Did Spore Druid change? Did something change about the Spore Druid? Why people are dipping Spore Druid?
I don't know.
Or is it just a... Maybe it's just a Golgari thing.
I don't think it got an update. I mean, it was never a bad class.
Sure.
I mean, they did fix it.
That's the 3rd or 4th time I've seen somebody multi-class it with something else. Like,
yeah.
Which I think is a little strange.
I think it allows you to be pretty tanky because of the weird aura effect that they have, which kind of, instead of boosting your armor class, it kind of pretty much like people don't want to get near you. So
interesting. Okay, I can see that.
Because they take necrotic damage where they're like in your little cloak. Wail on Death is also like tanky monk. Because I think at a certain level your attacks allow you to gain like temporary HP.
That would make sense. Someone. Okay. If you're doing a vampire build, you're just grabbing everything that's just oozing necrotic damage.
Yep.
I can see that.
Yeah, this seems like a very incredibly tanky necrotic base build. Sounds cool to me. Vampire Turtle.
Vampire Turtle. I don't know how I'm going to do that. Because they don't have teeth. Really sharp beaks, I guess?
Could maybe... What's that one armor-plated fish druid?
Coelacanth?
Oh,
no.
Dunkliostius.
Yeah, you could do it like that, where like the jaw just has spikes coming from it, from the beak.
Spiky bones. We can do that.
Or there are vampire finches. You could copy the shape of their beak a little bit.
Yeah.
Do vampire finches drink blood?
Yeah.
Weird.
What do you you think they'll be called vampire?
So they're an adaptation of Galapagos Island finches. And it is believed that when they first got to the island, they ate insects, and then that original species diverged into 4 different species with 4 different beak types. One vampire finch, which they think instead of like it went from eating the ticks on other creatures to
just
sucking
biting
the blood,
the creatures,
drinking the blood from the animal bites, and then eventually just biting the creatures. There is one that still survives mostly on insects that it eats. And there are, I think there's an herbivore one and a seed-eating one. Anyway, and they all evolved very rapidly, evolved very different head shapes and beak shapes.
Yep.
And that's why Darwin liked the Galapagos Islands so much.
Obsessed with finches. That's why Polymorphic Games has a finch logo.
I did not know that.
Not many people do.
That's pretty cool, actually.
Very. I mean, that's the game studio that I worked at the university. So like, it's not like it's a super big game studio. I also designed that logo, so it's not like it. Druid fact of the day. Yeah.
You mean Rook fact of the day?
I think, well, Druid was talking about the finches.
Oh.
I thought evolution was fake news. I mean, I don't think so.
Depends on who you're listening to. Just
Most of
because
the
somebody
time-
cries fake news doesn't mean it's fake.
Yeah, I mean, I've been discovering that most of the time the people crying fake news are the fake news.
Yeah.
I really do wish there was a little more news integrity, I guess. I've often thought about, like, I love Philip DeFranco. Because even though he does tend to take the sides of, this guy's a fucking asshole. Like, he's generally just saying the news instead of opinionating on it, which I very much appreciate, and I wish there was more of it.
Yeah, I agree. I think there's too much opining in every news source.
And like, it's even getting into like, this morning I was trying to find the Pathfinder 2 rule set update. And I was trying to find the PDF. I'm like, I know they released a PDF of it. It's on their website somewhere. But every time I tried to find it, it was somebody's website speculating things about like the new races, the new classes, and all under the guise of new playset rule out. And it's like, I don't want to hear about what you think about it. I just want the thing. I just want the book so I can look at it myself.
Yeah, I especially don't want to
really
hear
struggling.
if you haven't read it and you're just supposing what it's gonna be. I don't want to hear that either.
So I feel like it's not unique to just the news, but it's kind of the way we see media now. Of like, someone has to filter it for you, and that can be useful. That can be very useful as long as you trust the person that's filtering it.
But can you?
Yeah. And I think that's kind of, I just saw there's a bunch of lawsuits for different countries that are basically trying to sue Facebook and a couple other social media networks for like, hey, you have to pay us to put the news on your site. It's like, excuse me? That's not how social media is supposed to work. And I think part of that's because basically they never go to the news source. People just read the headlines and then kind of move on. And it's like, that's kind of the problem, is that there's not, the content itself is so clickbaity anyways that people just stop trying to read the content and try to just glean everything from the headline.
Yeah.
Wish we could keep politics out of news and such, just cause arguments. Yeah, I think we generally try to keep it out of the chat, and I think this is about as far as we should go into it. But
Yep. Otherwise, Druid is going to start bitching about something.
yeah, please don't. I really do think that's kind of the issue. Is more of a issue of how we look at news. What should we do with this vampire eye? If he's a vampire, maybe we should give it like, whew. That's kind of cool. Vampire turtle. I want to give him. The problem with turtles is that their armor and their clothes are always kind of weird because of the shell. So it's like, were they ranger? Is that what they were? Or was yours the ranger?
Mine is the ranger.
They were a Spore Druid Way of Long Death multi-class.
Right. Or druid, I guess, should have little fungus things all over him.
Probably.
I do tend to see a lot of Spore Druids that are also turtles.
Interesting. I think this is probably the first
Yeah.
one I've seen. Yeah, I might have drawn one before.
We've drawn a couple of turtles
Yeah.
growing bonsai on their backs.
Yeah.
I don't remember having drawn any turtles with mushrooms on them yet, which is maybe a little bit weird considering what I'm known for drawing on your channel.
Yeah. Crazy how Fox News and CNN are owned by the same family. I'm not sure if that's true, but it is weird. The lack of D&D advice for running kingdoms and other government bodies in the Dungeon Master Guide. That is interesting. Like, if you want to run a political, like a geopolitical campaign, I think part of that is Pathfinder does a much better job of selling locations.
Yeah.
So, like, it might be D&D might not being in the Dungeon Master Guide. Yes, you would need to get like the Candlekeep book. They make books for each individual location, like shops and people and ruling class and stuff.
If you want to watch an example of kind of more geopolitical sort of D&D play, and you're not watching Matt Colville on MCDM, you should be. I know his channel is not monetized, so it doesn't show up a lot for people.
Interesting.
But I know that that's his bread and butter because I think that his default storytelling inspiration is Dune. So.
Oh, interesting. Okay. There's a they have like the Guild Guide to Ravnica. This is the only one I ever bought, and I was wildly disappointed with it. Partially because I already understood most of the Ravnica crap. But I really wanted it to be more of that. I wanted it to be that's pretty cool quarters. I really wanted it to be more like who's in charge of these people, like who's the leader of these, and instead it's just like this guild kind of likes this stuff. I'm like, that is too vague. That is too vague for the amount of money I paid you. I have not bought any more of them, but some of the other ones might be better.
Which is weird you say that because I've heard like mostly good things about Ravnica book
Okay.
from other.
I really do think it's just what I wanted from it is not what it was. So
Yeah.
That's part of it.
Because I know all the things that people liked about it is like how sandboxy it is. It's like, here's how you could run little adventures in this metropolis plane.
Maybe. I'll give it another look. Ravnica was sad that there's not a ton there for a DM to make their own Ravnica, if that makes sense. Yeah, that's kind of what I felt. Like I really wanted like specific shops and like all the different things that all the different guilds would have, and they added like 2 items. It's like, oh, okay. Whereas like not the Mwangi Expanse, the Grand Bazaar is a great book because that's all it is. It's like, here's 15 shops, the people that own the shops, and the shit they sell. And it's like, this is great. I love this. This is cool.
Minus the fact that they lied about the magic tattoo feats.
I think they forgot it. I honestly think they forgot to put it in the book. I think that's really what happened, and they're just too embarrassed to do anything about it.
Well, they finally added level 1 and level 2 tattoos.
Yeah.
Or whatever was required.
I mean, they added a tattoo shop and then didn't put any tattoos in the book. That doesn't make any sense. So either they weren't supposed to add the tattoo shop, or they forgot to add the spells. I think they fucked
Paizo's
up.
not that great.
I think they fucked up.
I'm kidding.
I love Paizo, but I think they fucked up.
Yeah.
How dare you talk badly about the thing that I love the most?
Where is the magic tattoo feats? Never heard of those. It's I think 3.5 in Pathfinder is really more prevalent with them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think 5th edition also has magic tattoos now.
Yeah. They added one. I can't remember what it was, though.
I don't know. If you want magic tattoos, I just assume you're going to have to homebrew them like Mercer did.
Yeah, attunement. You guys might not be able to
Yeah.
hear jump rope. But
That's
yeah,
fine.
they go against the jump rope is saying, I don't think YouTube can hear you is what I was saying. I think you're right that it does kind of go against the attunement slot system because it's too much. Wherein Pathfinder, the idea was once you have all your gear, you can then start equipping tattoos in each of those gear slots anyways. So it essentially doubles the amount of things you can wear. And D&D doesn't want that. D&D wants less items, not more items. I know they have a dragon marks, but I think it's still required DM approval. Yeah, no, they did. They did add the tattoos themselves. I think the feats used to be the feats are basically to, like, give them, so you can become a tattoo artist. They just used them in
Yeah,
Critical Role. So like, if anything, it's in the Darrington Press stuff. So
it's into Tasha's book.
it's in Tasha's.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
I feel like Tasha's really was just like people are complaining about the shit that we took out, so we're putting it back in now.
I don't see the rules for them.
I can't because the thing I don't remember about 5e tattoos is how the attunement works.
Yeah, because there's quite a few of them actually.
Really?
So like a let's see here. One like requires it to be on both your arms to its attunement slot is like your arms basically.
But do you have to attune to it, or is it just
Yes,
just a thing?
there is a attunement requirement.
Okay.
They may have changed their rules on attunement. So
I don't know why they thought giants would be good. New book. No one of my DMs has ever touched giants. That's weird. I use giants all the time.
Yeah, same.
Great. I'm done. I'm done with this dragon boy. I don't know what he's doing. He's not a dragon. He's a turtle. Let's do one more. I think we can do one more. 18. A wildfire. Oh, this is the Jester Scarecrow. Sorry. Why is that one on there twice? That's weird.
I don't know. You wrote the list.
I did, yeah. I just have a duplicate on the
I'll fix
list. Jester Scarecrow wearing a Plague Doctor's mask. Tag lights. What color are we doing? Blue? Okay. This one should be pretty easy, I think. So we'll do the legs too. When does a scarecrow become a scarecrow and not just like a effigy?
I think specifically when it's used to keep fields safe.
Yeah.
From birds.
you also generally burn effigies.
Okay.
At least that's always the context I've known of effigies being in.
I mean, that could be a fair thing that I...
It's like, burn the fake king type of deal.
Can't decide if I should make this derpy or not. Plague Doctor masks are essentially like proto-gas masks.
Yeah. From one time when they believed disease was caused by stinkiness.
Which isn't super wrong, but it's not right. It's not-
I know.
They had
yeah.
a small glimpse of the picture.
Yeah. If you put grain in a sack, it creates rats. It's like, well, yes. but also no. What number am
Creates is
I
the
on
wrong
the list?
word.
I do not remember. I don't put people's names down on the list. I just take their suggestions. We did a lot this week, and we're still holding. Like, we have 22 left. So most likely what will happen is we'll just have to resubmit it next week. So I'm sorry if your picture didn't get drawn this week.
Yeah.
The dice gods are fickle creatures.
Yeah. We don't usually get this many.
Yeah, usually I think 20 is about where we start, and then it usually goes down from there. But we started at like 35, and I think we got down to 22. But we also added a whole bunch. The Deer Land Druid, that's right. Sorry, more phone calls. Hold on a second. Okie dokie. What did I just click on? I just clicked on something and it just vanished. Oh, it's over here. Alright, back to drawing. There we go. What days do you stream? We do this on Wednesdays and Fridays, yeah. I'm gonna see you later. I have to head out. No problem. Thanks for hanging out today. Today's been a weird day.
Yeah.
It has definitely been a weird day. Sorry about the phone calls, everybody. Disruptive. Did we finish? Oh, we're still chasing the chimney man, aren't we?
Yep. I told you guys I wanted to do like bigger, longer stories. That one's bigger and longer. Multi-mini dungeons.
I didn't realize the chimney man was part of that. I thought the chimney man was a quick story. My brain is fried.
I'm sorry.
That's all right.
But also I know the feeling. You've done a lot of drawings today, so I honestly would be surprised if your brain wasn't super tired.
Yeah. Cool drawings this week. Thank you, Lizard, for having a good week. Hope everybody has fun plans for the weekend. Okay. What should we do for arms? If this guy is an actual scarecrow, should we just have noodly wood arms?
Yeah, I think he should.
I like the idea of giving him like a really fancy coat and then just stuffing it with straw. Like some fancy lord dropped it out of a cart and they're just like, yeah, stick it up on the stick. It's an effigy, remember? I don't remember what class this was now, though.
Fire druid?
Is it a fire druid?
I can't remember.
I'm gonna control Z. Jester scarecrow wearing a plague doctor mask.
Okay.
Sword for an arm. Sweet robe.
I dig it. Gotta try extra hard to disarm him.
Oh.
Do I regret that joke? Nope.
I mean, if I'd made it, I wouldn't either. Doesn't mean it was a good joke.
My
Doesn't
jokes are
mean-
never good jokes.
Guess I'll just do this. He doesn't look like a jester, though. Do I need to give him the pointy hat instead of the plague doctor hat?
I mean, that would probably help.
Yeah, it definitely changes the character. This one went way soft on me. I just now realized. That always seems to happen. Like as I kind of progress through the day, my pencil gets like the pressure sensitivity goes up and up and up until I just have this kind of fuzzy look, and it's like my eyes are blurring slowly as the day goes on. It's like, what's happening? All right, I like the hat. We're gonna change it to a jester hat. Why not? Which is what they wanted. I think that's probably. Unless they just wanted like Harlequin stuff. Jester is not a class. That's really where this is going at. Unless they're a bard, I guess. Even that. Take it back. I like the hat better. See if I can undo to it. Nope, we're effed. Okay.
Abort.
He looks like a really bad chef. You want I should make some pasta? Only 5 guys died. Not from the pasta. Just near it.
My satyr is making the biggest puppy dog eyes, and I did not do that on purpose.
Please.
You don't want to kill me. I'm just a cute little deer man.
Would you like to frolic?
Check out my giant boner. It's canon.
Want to see how high I can jump?
Yeah. I like how that's the thing 5e went with. Like, what are they known for? Well, they're lecherous and drink lots and lots of everything. Watch my satyr video. I think it's great.
Erection?
Yeah.
Put that in.
Just erase that. It's a history thing. It's not my choice, YouTube.
Yeah, blame ancient Greece.
I do, daily. Bunch of weirdos.
5 sickles tied together to look like a hand, yeah. What did the 5 fingers say to the face?
It was pain?
I think it's slap.
Oh,
Correct answer.
I was thinking of there's something on your face. It was pain.
Oh. I think that's probably the same intent.
Yep. Probably from different YouTube channels.
Mine was a Dave Chappelle joke.
Oh.
From 2004.
It just reminds me of the Peanuts joke. Why should I do that? I'll give you 5 good reasons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Shakes his fist in face.
Yep.
Pretty good one.
Mm. Bri, I read that last little bit too fast. I'm not gonna say what I misread Viagra as.
I did the same.
It's only a curse if you don't want it, yeah. Curse of Demon Viagra. And then it's gone. No record will be retained. I think I'm loopy enough and tired enough to just call it. I think we're good.
Sounds good.
I'm gonna go play.
It is, what, 2, 3 for you?
Yeah, it's about time. We made it to 2 o'clock. We did good. Commissions are open. There will be a new useless truck in my driveway. It's the same truck, but now it's useless because I know it's dangerous to drive. So I gotta be careful about that. Yeah, we'll figure that out, and yeah, we'll go from there. I will probably play some Baldur's Gate. If people want to play Baldur's Gate, is it up on blocks? It will be. It will be when it gets back to the house. People want to play some Baldur's Gate online, like you want me to stream it, that might be something we can do. I have not heard anybody say that they want that though, so I probably won't, unless I hear people actually talk about the comments or in Discord. We had a lot this week, so I'm sorry if your suggestion did not get drawn. Once again, on Monday I'll put the post up and you can resubmit your characters there to be drawn again if you want. Otherwise, we'll just be back next Wednesday. Hopefully I'll have more energy. This week's been kind of crummy because we got COVID again, but we're doing fine. So I've just been tired. We will keep on keeping on with that, and yeah, stay happy, stay healthy, keep your dice on the table. Thank you again for all your wonderful suggestions, all your wonderful support. We will catch you next week. Bye, everyone. Oh, keep your
Bye.
eyes peeled for a new video.
See
It
ya.
might get finished tomorrow, and if it does, I'll probably put it up on Saturday. If not, I'll wait until like Monday or something. Okay. Bye, everybody.
Bye. No, I forgot how to do things.
redirect you. Okay. Have a wonderful weekend.